chances that I missed. Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wonder what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, who would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from what I had today.
Good morning. How you doing? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm LaVern. This is One Street Over, and here's what we're doing. What's going on? One street over from where you living, y'all. Just a beautiful day out in front of us. Beautiful Tuesday morning. Got that nip of fall in the air. Gotta love that. We're living right. And today I've got a special guest coming in and are here with me now. Acesa Brewer is in the house. How you doing, Asa?
Man, well.
Keep talking. Make sure I got your microphone up. There we go.
Okay.
Now we go. There we are. And Asa is an old friend of mine. I'll say that because how long ago was it that you came in and did the show with me?
About 2 months or something.
Well, I think it's been longer than that. I mean, it's been a minute. I think it was maybe the first of this year even.
Yeah, like in April or March or something.
Yeah. It was earlier this year. And I had Asa, and I can't remember how in the world I became aware of you. Oh, no, I know what it was. One of my students told me about you. Yeah. Jorge did, right? Yeah. Have you kept up with him?
Yeah, he's at Austin Peay now, man.
Yes, he is. I saw him at the soccer game the other night, and he's still working and doing some video and things like that. Yeah. And just so proud of that young man. He's doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's how we met. And we have a lot of the same interest because you were at the time starting to dabble with podcasting.
Yeah.
And so Jorge was like, hey, Miss Vivio, can you get Asa in and talk to him? And honestly and truthfully, you know more about it now than I do because you've got, how many episodes did you put out on your podcast?
18 episodes.
18 episodes. And you're kind of on a pause with it right now, though.
Yeah.
But 18 episodes is a pretty good little stint.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff, and again, we're talking with Acesa Brewer. This is a young man that I met through a student that I just found very inspiring. Number one, we have a lot of things in common, a lot of common interests, but we'll get more into his story and I'll just kind of unpack it because I really want to start having him in on a regular basis. I had said that the last time you were in, I lost your info. And then I'll say how we kind of reconnected. But so we have a lot of the same interests. You're interested in the podcasting. What was the topic of what you've been interviewing folks for your podcast?
The one that stuck out to me is
go ahead and get right up on that microphone for me.
One that stuck out to me is what is it?
What's your title of the podcast? But
Through the Looking Glass.
through the Looking Glass,
Yeah,
very
through the
cool.
Through the Looking
With
Glass.
Acesa Brewer, can they just Google Acesa Brewer and find you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Google it.
Very good. And it's stories about people who inspire you and have just stories to tell, right? And you just I mean, you do such a great job with what you do, and I'm just so inspired by you.
Yeah.
But do you remember the one then that stands out to you as far as one of your favorite interviews?
Stephen Hogan.
Okay.
Stephen Hogan. That's the interviewee that I interviewed, and it was at that time it was blessed to have Stephen Hogan on.
Okay. What was it? What was it about?
We was talking about like mental anguish and all that other stuff, and man, we had a deep convo.
Okay.
Man.
That's amazing.
That man, and I have his number to this day, man. I can call him anytime. So yeah.
He's just been through some stuff too, huh?
Yeah, because he came from California.
Okay.
He's a musician. I interviewed him at Starbucks.
Okay.
So,
well, that's really cool. I'll have to check that one out. But
man.
There's a lot of folks coming from California here. I got a few friends. Tommy Marsh, Crooked Eye Tommy. Have you met Crooked Eye Tommy out and about?
No.
He would love you. He's fun. He's from California as well and a musician. So yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Wow.
So it's so funny because after Acesa was on the show, I would be running to school or something, and I'd see you out wandering around walking because you pretty much you just the first time he came in here, I'll never forget it. Just blew my mind because I was like, okay, hey, are you on your way? I was texting him, and he said, well, does your building look like such and such? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't see your car. And he goes, well, I walked. And I was like, what? Walked from downtown to do the show. It was like a 40-minute walk, you told me?
Yeah.
At least.
30 minutes. Yeah,
Maybe
give or
40
take.
minutes.
I was booking.
Yeah, you were booking. But
Yeah.
so I said, when I was like, well, we're not going to let you do this. So my husband went and picked you up this morning.
Yeah.
Because we can totally work that out.
Yeah.
And then I can drop you off on my way to school. But I'm going to have you come one day and just hang out with me at school and talk about your story.
Yeah.
You're interested in podcasting. You're interested in all the videography and things. Because that's one thing you were telling me.
Yeah, because I graduated interpersonal media arts and entertainment, minor in communication. So that's right up my alley.
Yes, it is. So where's your degree from?
MTSU.
MTSU.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to hear Ace's story because it is inspiring. You went to high school where?
Here.
At Springfield.
Yeah, at Springfield.
Because that's why I see. So I see him walking sometime on the sidewalk, and I'm always like, I got to find his phone number because I want to get Acesa back in.
Yeah.
And I never have time to pull over and talk to you because I'm always running. I'm always running somewhere, trying to get to school. But then my husband started working at Springfield High School in the criminal justice program.
Wow.
And so he goes, hey, you know that guy that you've been trying to get in touch with that was on the radio with you? What's his name? I said, you mean Acesa? Yeah. He goes, well, he's out here taking pictures.
Yeah.
And so that's how we reconnected is Mark saw him out on the football field.
Yeah.
And reconnected because he's working with the football program.
Wow.
But he's down in the middle school.
Okay.
Helping with the kiddos there.
Okay. How is it Innovation Academy?
Well, no, Innovation Academy is
Okay.
a full school. I mean, it's like it goes all the way to seniors now. They have but he's at Coopertown.
Okay.
But he teaches at Springfield, but he does assistant coaching at Coopertown.
Okay.
So helping with the youngins come up to get ready to go into because you figure they come out of Coopertown, they come and play with the big boys at Springfield.
Yeah.
That happens. That's intimidating.
In the blink of an eye.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
You better believe it. So, I mean, it's the real deal. He played Acesa played football at Springfield and has quite a history. And I tell you what, let me go ahead and do my first break. And we'll come back, and I want you to unpack your story for people because I want them to understand why you're such an exceptional young man, and it's just amazing your story. And I just want to share that with everybody. So is that cool?
Yeah, man, it's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
So we're gonna continue talking with my friend Acesa Brewer, and you're gonna hear his story in just a second. But before we go any further, let's talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. My friends in the greenhouse industry. They are just awesome. Excuse me, my allergies are about to kick me. But if you want to find something beautiful for your home, anyway. Oh, I hate allergies. All of a sudden you get a little tickle in your throat. If you want something beautiful to bring into your home, some beautiful decor. Hang on just a second. We're going to have to go to a commercial. We're going to go to a recording commercial, and I'll be right back. Robertson County, it is time to join the Gig Club. Get Cumberland Connect. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, well, good news. You can join me in the Gig Club, and you can have a full gig for just $80, high-speed internet that will blow you away. If you're like me and you've had terrible internet service for far too long, well, it's time to get in the Gig Club. Now, what you do is you go to cumberlandconnect.org, put in your zip code, cumberlandconnect.org, and it'll tell you if they're in your neighborhood already or when they're going to be in your neighborhood. You can also just call them and ask the question, 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. And if you're somebody in these areas, if you're a Cumberland Electric customer and you're having some financial struggles, well, because internet is now a utility, there's an affordable connectivity program providing qualifying households with monthly credit to help pay for internet services. And if you're eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services. And they have packages starting at, you guessed it, $30 per month. Be a part of the Gig Club or just get into high-speed internet with Cumberland Connect. CumberlandConnect.org. Tell them you turned sent you. Okay, and let's go ahead and talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse now that I've got my voice back. Oh, allergy sufferers, you know who you are. My goodness, some days it just kicks you. But we want to talk about Corbin Creek, my friends in the greenhouse business. If you need something beautiful for your home, for your yard, I talked a lot about perennials yesterday. Perennials, this is the time of the year to put those plants in the ground that will come back year after year. Now, believe it or not, and a lot of us don't, remember this, but mums are perennials. Mums will come back year after year if you take care of them, and that means you have to water them. You can't leave them on your porch and forget to water them and kill them like a lot of us do. But the Corbins have beautiful, beautiful mums while they last, because they do go very quickly. But talk to Amy about where you need to plant them and how you need to plant them and how you need to treat them so that whenever we get into fall next year, you will have these beautiful mums. I've seen a few houses that drive by and it almost looks like a quilt of flowers because they have taken such beautiful care of their mums year after year, and they come back and they just get bigger and bigger and more beautiful every year if you do it right. Amy can fill you in on that. Miss Jane can fill you in on how to make that happen. They are also your source for CBD products produced right here from Robertson County Plants. Her brother Bill grows the plants. They produce the products that are sold right there in the shop as well. They've got handcrafted items from Miss Jane. It is a great place to go. Great friends of the program and very easy to find. They're out at 4920 Highway 161 here in Springfield, and you can give them a call, 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Always let them know you turned sent you. Acesa Brewer is my guest in studio, and we're just talking about his experiences here and around Springfield. You're a young man. How old are you?
I'm 28.
We're talking about, he's right there with my kiddos. If they, if my kids went to Good Pasture, or you would have played football with Jedediah.
Oh, yeah.
Had it been, you would have definitely been on the same team.
Yeah.
Because you played at Springfield all the way through your senior year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, did you go on scholarship then?
No, I went to walk on, and then I earned my way, and
so
put some respect on my name.
There you go. So you walked on at MTSU.
Yeah.
How long did you get to play?
3 years. 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
it
what?
was a sight to see.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was
Very
a sight
good.
to see, and yeah.
So talk to us about how. So did you graduate?
Yeah. I graduated before
everything happened.
Yeah, before
that
happened.
So tell them what happened. How old were you, and when all this happened?
I was 23 at the time.
Yeah.
I quit football, and I started doing something else, and then I got introduced to a group out that way in Murfreesboro, and we got friends. We became friends, and then I got on going on the road and all that other stuff, and we was jugging and jiving and.
Well, I mean, you were living the life of a young man that had just graduated college, but now what were you doing for a living at that time? What were you doing to work?
I was a manager of a group.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, are you talking about of a band?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that.
Rich Soul was the group. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Classroom Majors.
Okay.
Turned to
so
Rich
you
Soul.
were managing a band.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah.
But everything kind of changed for you one day.
Yeah, everything when I went up there to the coach's office, Coach Stock.
Yeah,
I never forget that day. I had a suit on and everything, and I was just asking him. I was like, "Man, I've been working. I've been grinding. I've been grinding it out. Is it a chance that I'm gonna get to play?" And it was my third year.
Yeah,
and I was like. He said, "You are a great player, but it's some freshmen coming in, and then put my stuff in somebody else's locker."
Yeah,
and then I was like,
"You're like, I don't want to be a tackling dummy anymore."
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to because.
I get that, because I mean, that happens a lot of the times. Players will go in and they're a part of the team, but they never really get any field time during a game. And it just is, it's not very encouraging. And so you're just like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then you went and started working with this band.
Yeah. I started working with the band and I started because I wouldn't go home. I was going to finish what I started.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you were able to finish school.
Yeah.
And you were working with the band.
Yeah.
But then something happened.
Yeah, something happened, man. 2018 and end of 2018, I went to Chicago.
Okay.
And had a good time there. And I felt funny when I came back. Mm-hmm. I felt funny, but I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought I was just something. Because that
something
was,
just didn't feel right.
Yeah, something that didn't feel right. But then I started breathing heavy. Mm-hmm. I started breathing heavy, and I was like, man, I'm gonna call my mama.
Yeah.
I was like, man, hey mama, I know I ain't talked to you in a while.
Yeah.
Because we ain't.
I've got sons.
Yeah.
They never call their mother. I mean, that's just part of it. I call them and it's like, when's the last time you talked to your mother? Yeah. I've got 4 sons. So, yes, I know. You don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
That's the journeys of being a boy mama. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I was like, something doesn't feel right because my leg was swollen and all that other stuff. And then my mama said, eat some cereal. I was like,
that make you feel better.
Yeah, that makes me feel better. But
I remember you telling me this the first time. Mom's like, eat some cereal. You need to eat something.
Yeah. And I was like,
bless.
We had a great conversation and all that other stuff. But then I got off the phone with her. Then I went to bed. And then I got up. And I went in the shower. And after I took a shower, I got out. And that's all she wrote. Then I fell down.
You just fell down.
I fell down completely unaware, unconscious. Yeah.
And so who found you? They found you and got you to the hospital.
15 hours later.
So you laid in the floor for 15 hours.
Yeah.
Tell the folks listening what happened. Because what had happened to you? What had happened? What did the doctors tell you had happened?
I had a stroke, a major stroke.
Wow.
I couldn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything.
That's incredible.
Because by the grace of God, where I am today. But,
yeah, God bless you.
Man.
Well, and what blows my mind, 23 years old, you had a stroke.
Yeah.
You hear of that every now and then, but I've just never met anybody that's had to endure that. And you're
Yeah.
just an amazing young man. I just love you so much. Like I said, the first time, it was so amazing to me that when Jorge started talking about you, my student was the one who told me, hey, you need to have Asa on. And he never mentioned that you'd had a stroke.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't notice that about you.
Yeah.
And then when you came in, I was like, you walked here? You know, because you don't drive now because,
Yeah.
you know, but, and I was like, you walked here and then I was kind of watching you and I was like, so what's going on? And then you shared your story with me and I was just like, chin to the ground. I was like so
Yeah.
blown away by you. I was so impressed with you, young man,
Yeah.
from the very get-go. And I think everybody who knows you is
Yeah.
because you're kind of well known around town.
Yeah.
People know who you are, you know,
Yeah.
because you're inspiring. We love stories like that.
Man.
You know?
Glory to God, man.
Yeah. You know, I was telling, when I was having my little allergy attack a while ago and I couldn't talk, I was saying, I work with Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah.
And so on Tuesday nights, I'm up at the Epiphany Baptist Church with them, and I also sit in with the band. I just sing backup for them because the girl who normally does it, April, is not there on Tuesday night. So they let me play in the sandbox. Well, I was supposed to lead a song one night, and I had an allergy. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do it. I was like, okay, Rob, it's yours.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get a word out. But as I say all that to say, you need to come to Celebrate Recovery with us just so you can share your story with us.
Yeah.
You know, we'd love to have you there.
I will.
You know, you'd be inspiring, I think. And it's probably not too far from your house.
Yeah.
Epiphany.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
Epiphany?
Baptist.
Uptown?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Down Oak Street.
Down Oak Street?
Yeah. I think that's the one.
Put it in Google and yeah.
Yeah. We'll
I'll
talk
do
about it. I'll show you. I'm gonna drop you off after the radio today, so I'll just show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you want to pop in there sometime, we'd love to have you in there because you're just an inspiring young man, and I think you would just inspire the folks that are coming to that. And I told him, I said, now you're a follower of Jesus, right? And he says, absolutely. Where do you worship?
St. Matthew's Holy Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay.
But it's non-denominational. Like
Okay.
we under the fivefold ministry.
Okay, what does that mean?
Fivefold ministry what Paul teaches in apostles, preachers, prophets, and you name it. Bishops is man-made, but it's
Trying to get back to what the early church was.
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Very good.
yeah.
So when do y'all meet?
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, Sunday school and morning worship.
Do you remember what time everything is if somebody wanted to join you?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock on Sunday. What about Wednesday night?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So there, if you want to join them, and if you want to get to know Asa, I always tell people, man, if you want to, everybody's always, oh, you need to come here, you need to come there. And I said, come to church with me and we can hang out. Because that's really where I spend
Yeah.
a lot of my free time is with church because that's where my people are. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been at that congregation? Is that your
Man.
childhood congregation?
That's my childhood congregation because
Okay.
I grew up in that church. And man, we was first we was over by Bransford. We was at a little congregation and then we moved to
That you're trying to think of the name of the street?
the name of the street. Hillwood or something
Hillwood
like
or something like that? Okay.
Going towards Kroger's.
Okay, so
Yeah.
up in that area.
Yeah.
But did your church family circle around you during your illness?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
Man, they did because I didn't have no I didn't have no numbers outside of my immediate family or like close friends. Like
So, were you in Murfreesboro when the stroke happened?
I was in Murfreesboro.
So at least you had gotten back from Chicago,
Yeah.
and so at least you were local.
yeah,
So how long were you in the hospital?
3.5
I was
months.
gonna say a long time from what you told me. Wow. Did you come out and then go to stay with mom then after that?
No. I had to go stay with my granddaddy.
Okay.
Yeah, my granddaddy was a big help. His name is Freddie Jones.
Okay.
He was a big help when during my recovery.
Okay. So how long was your rehab? How long before? I mean, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you've still got some paralysis
Yeah.
and stuff, but you have overcome this. I mean, was it a while before you could get to where you could walk again? Or did that come back pretty quickly?
February, when I had the stroke, February 8th, 2019. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that day. So
Bless your heart.
I didn't start walking until August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how big of a triumph did that feel like once you got back on your feet?
It was life-changing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I had to sit down and I had to observe. I didn't talk as much. Mm-hmm. And I was just steady, like, praying.
Yeah.
Asking God, like, why this happened to me?
Yeah.
Like, why not you? Like, I was dealing with that inside my head.
Yeah. So how do you process through something like that? I mean, because that's the thing. All of us have had those moments. My dad died of an aneurysm, like 73 years old, and that's young. I mean, now that's too young. And so. And good godly man, and I'm like, man, we need him here, Lord. Why in the world would you take him at that point? Or why would you let the world take him? Because, I mean, that's not from God. We won't go down that rabbit hole. But you know what I'm saying? The death and decay is not God's plan. That's what we chose as mankind.
Yeah.
And we got to live through it. So, but anytime you have something like that happen, you're like, why is this happening, Lord? When you see little ones, I have a prayer list of little ones that I pray for. And I think, why in the world is that precious child having to go through cancer and all these things? And you had to, at 23 years old, gone, what? What, Lord? What? So, I mean, did you have a deep enough spiritual foundation that you just immediately knew that it's God's plan and you just had to deal with it? Or, I mean, how do you process through something like that?
I'm still processing it, but
of course,
yeah, I'm still processing it, but
it's only been 5 years.
Yeah, it's only been 5 years, and I didn't know it because God, God is, man. When that happened to me, man, I knew that I was gonna be taken care of because this is for a season, and I knew it, and I claimed it in the name of Jesus, but I couldn't talk. But at least, like, my faith was right there at the blink of an eye. So my faith is deep within Jehovah. So
yeah, very good. So you just, because you had that foundation, you were able to lean into that and go, okay, I don't know how, but I'm going to overcome this in His name. Yeah. So there you go.
In His name, and then look at me now.
Look at you now. Look at you now. You're beautiful, and I just love you, and you inspire me every time I see, because I see you out running around and going and doing stuff, but that's just never where I could stop and talk. And I'm just so glad that we finally have reconnected. I've got to listen to your podcast. How do people what's the easiest way to find your podcast? Just Acesa Brewer, or I forgot. Go ahead.
You can get on podcast.
Just any podcast format. I'm looking at your page. Do you have a link on it on Facebook? Because you've got your Facebook page that you can go to. So you can go to Acesa Brewer and pull it up from there. And that is your page, right?
Yeah, that is my page.
It says you live in New York City.
Yeah.
I live in New York City.
yeah.
That's not right. I'm going to see if I can Google you on podcast and find you here.
Okay.
But the podcast platforms are so interesting because so many of my kids want to do podcasting.
Yeah.
And so we're dabbling in it. Okay, right there. Let's see. We'll find it. I don't see it right offhand, but we'll find it, and I'll put a link up to it. But I just think that anything that you're doing is inspiring. I love that you're taking pictures. I mean, you and I just have so much in common. We really do. So we need to hang out. We need to hang out, buddy.
Definitely.
And we're going to do that more and more. But I just encourage you guys, if you see Asa out and about, if you see him taking pictures at your event, encourage him and talk to him. And if maybe we need to connect you with the newspaper and see if you can't take some pictures from them. Because have you ever... do you go to just sporting events, or do you go to just, anything and everything?
Anything to uplift the community. Mm-hmm. I would go there.
Well, just like they had all the community events. Did you go to the fair and take any pictures?
No, kick off the fair.
Yeah, the parade.
There. Yeah,
the parade. So do you have some images from the parade?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to put those up.
Yeah,
I would love to see those. If you put those,
I have it.
Oh, the parade images are on here? Hang on a second. Let me go back here and look. Because we can share those with the fair board. I think they would love to have your parade images from the fair. Let me go back here and see. Oh, yeah, looky there. You've got some great pictures from the fair parade. That is cool.
And then,
you've got a bunch of, look at that. Everybody, you need to go find Acesa Brewer on, just find him on Facebook and check out his pictures. I love what you're doing here, my friend. What kind of camera do you use?
Lumix.
Okay, very cool. But it looks good. You've got some great stuff here, my friend. That looks great. But we've just got to spend some more time together. I was telling him we said you want to get involved in film.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let me do a break.
Yeah.
We have so many things we need to talk about. We need to talk about his interest in film, and then I've got some things I want to share with you about that. And then he's also involved in our flag football team.
Yeah.
Being a mentor in that. So we want to talk about all those things, but we do need to pause for just a second. And we're going to talk about our friends, Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Best way in the world to find out everything that they're doing. Just get online and just put Barry Richards and Exit Realty, and you will find them. You'll find their Facebook page. If you go Barry Richards Exit Realty, you're going to find a Facebook page that has his a house with one of his sold signs in it. A place as you scroll down the page, it's got a little link for you to start your search here. You can click there, put in zip codes, look at things that they have going on. They are going to also be your source if you want some historic properties, not just houses, but they've also had businesses that they have sold that were historic. They're out in the community. Barry and Rebecca are always out in the community doing so much. You're going to find them everywhere. Rebecca's page set up a little bit differently. She is the broker in White House for Exit Realty. He is the broker here in downtown. They've got a downtown office now on the square, so you're going to find him in the office there when he's not out and about. But they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're in Cross Plains. They've been there 27 plus years. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Great friends of the program, great friends of mine, and Barry, just a great friend helping with all the things that we do at at Greenbrier for the audio video program. Can't say enough about how much he's helped me with that. And if you want great help in real estate, the ones that can make sure everybody sees your property, because he's a marketer, he is expert at that. Get in touch with them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUY, RobertsonCounty.com. Call Rebecca at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And please always let them know that U-Turn sent you. And as we're continuing on with the show, I've got Acesa Brewer in here. We're talking about all the things that interest him and his incredibly inspiring story. I want to kind of touch on something because a lot of people have interest in audio and video, right? Mm-hmm. And you're wanting, what is it exactly you're wanting to do with film? Are you just wanting to?
No,
because that's your dream, right?
Yeah, that's my dream.
So what is it you dream of producing with film? And I say film, video. We don't use film anymore. It's all digital. So what is it your dream?
Tyler Perry, if you listening. Tyler Perry, if you listening. I want to like producing but I want to be a film director.
Uh-huh.
So Tyler Perry.
I don't know. I don't know if we're big enough for that now.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
never know. Maybe
Yeah.
he's passing through Nashville and just stumbles across us. You just
Yeah.
never know, because we have a signal that covers Robertson County and the edges of the surrounding counties. You never know. Where's he from? Do you even know?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's not too far from here. Maybe
No.
he might be passing through and hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get in touch with Asa. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can do. Hey, you know what? God is big and he does big, crazy things.
Yes.
You just never know. So I just hope you do get in contact with him sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he brings you in and lets you work with him. That'd be super cool. Because there's a lot of the video film industry that comes through Springfield. I mean,
Man.
do you go out and watch the shoots and stuff when they get here?
I just got in contact with Seth. Seth, he had me on the do photos for him. To behind the scenes and stuff like that.
That's cool. What was he working on? What do you remember? What production?
PH, because the women and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know, but anyway, they had. We always have these productions in town.
Yeah.
One of my students, if he's missing school, you can go, okay, are they producing something in Springfield? Because Alex is always wanting to be at these film productions, and we have a lot of them. Every time you turn around, they're doing something, closing down a street to film something.
Yeah.
Because we've got such a picturesque community, and so it's just really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, if you're interested in doing video, there is a program that an application that you can get for your computer. It's not a mobile app that I'm aware of, but it's called DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Resolve. And it was described to me as iMovie and Premiere Pro had a baby. And so if you know anything about editing video, iMovie is the app that comes on if you buy anything Mac, you're going to have iMovie for free.
Yeah.
And it's very simple to use, but it's not real. It doesn't stand out. It's a nice video program, but the cuts are just a little wonky. They're a little abrupt. It's not awesome. Premiere Pro is professional video editing, Well, DaVinci Resolve is kind of in between the two, and I have not yet learned how to use it, but what I love about it is it's something that I can introduce my students to, and whether they have Mac or a PC, whatever, computer they have, they can put DaVinci Resolve on it. There is a free version of it that will do a lot. Now you can, all these apps, you can go in and purchase the next level, right?
Yeah.
But this one, you really can do so much with the free application. So check it out. And what kind of computer do you have?
Mac.
Oh, well then you're in good shape then.
Yeah.
But, because Macs, when it comes to video and audio, people, for the most part, prefer Mac. I mean, the things I have done in TV, radio, Mac is pretty much the one that most people want. It's just a little more user friendly.
Yeah.
But now I've got one of my son that's really talented in audio video. He prefers a PC. So he doesn't use Mac. And so, but he does really well. Because, you can get Adobe. When we talk about video editing programs, if you hear the word Adobe, there is what we call an Adobe suite that is Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro. Those are the foundational ones. And so, but they're expensive. It's expensive to use those. So if you've got something that you can use, and then Lightroom is part of that too, but that's more just photography. Yeah. But if you've got an application you can get that will do what you need for video for free, DaVinci Resolve, and it will work across all platforms. And so that's what I'm really, even though we have all the Adobe suite and all that, and we did some Photoshop things that we're getting ready to print, that we did like a career section in our audio video class where I had the students find something that was audio video driven and then Photoshop themselves into it. So we did that, and we're making posters and stuff. So we've done that, but when it comes to the video, the base thing that I want to teach all of them is about DaVinci Resolve, because everybody can use it. You don't have to have a Mac. So you might want to check that out, because you were asking me about color correction and things and this is all stuff I learned from Barry Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team, because it was a media marketing vice president for so long. But he was telling me that DaVinci Resolve started out as a color correction thing.
Okay.
And then to compete with the Premiere Pro and all of that, they developed DaVinci Resolve. And so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. Everything that I've discovered with it so far. So that's my tip for you today. Check out DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
And anybody else that wants to do videography. But I want to talk with you. In the time we have remaining, there is this thing called flag football here in town.
Yes.
And one of the big points of it is the mentorship.
Yeah.
And having young men work with these kiddos, and it's the flag football is not just boys, it's boys and girls, isn't it?
Boys and girls. Yeah.
So how does it work? How many teams do you have? Do you guys know how many teams are playing flag football this year?
Up to 14U.
Okay.
So it's sections of them. So it's up to 14U.
So up to 14 you can play.
8 to 10 teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when do they play?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Where do they play?
Martin Luther King Park.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in this?
Man.
Tell that story.
The former Joseph Ellis was president, and he
Of the organization.
organization, and he reached out to me and he said, "Man, I'm about to start something, flag football. Would you be interested? And we'll vote you in, and because we've been looking at your page and positive, and your page is beautiful and all that other stuff." And so I got in there, but he's no longer president because confrontations, but
Stuff happens. So
stuff happens, and I've been I've been there for about a year. No.
Is it really just got started?
Yeah, it really just got started. Yeah.
But you've been working with them because it's been something they've aspired to bring on for a while.
Yeah, a while, a long while, but opportunity and it's going. It's starting out in a good positive way, and mentorship and all that other stuff. So everything is coming on as planned.
I'm sitting here looking at some of your pictures and stuff right now, and there's a lot of flag football pictures in here. And just, I love your heart for how you just, you just go right to the heart of these folks, and you take a lot of almost like portrait type pictures while they're on the field in their thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I see you've got some action pictures and things, but you've also got a lot of pictures in here that are just people just in their space, and they're beautiful. You do a really good job. I love this. So do you have the mentorship and the way that they do what they do at the flag football? How does that work? Do you have a kid that you're assigned to, or are you just there to support?
Yeah, I'm just there's to support.
Okay.
And talk to them and just be encouraged.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long does the season go?
10 games.
10 games.
Yeah,
So,
and then I have a playoff.
okay.
Yeah.
So I love these little girls out here on the football field. That's pretty awesome because they don't get too many chances to play football. I would have had fun with this when I was a kiddo. But so do you know about when the season will end then, or
November?
In November.
Yes.
Okay. But how can somebody now? Do you have any idea as far as what the plans are for next year about when they'll start registration? If this is somebody, because it's one of those things that when it comes to these kinds of plans, you need to kind of put them on your calendar, kind of save the date kind of thing.
Yeah.
When do they start registering for this program?
Next year.
In the spring?
Yeah, in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, in the spring.
But I just love it. What is your favorite thing about flag football?
Oh,
Can you name a favorite thing?
it's not tackling.
There you go. Why would that not be good for these kids, do you think?
I played
Yeah.
football, but it's just now the technique and but tackling later on down the line. But the fundamentals is key because when you have the fundamentals, then you can add on the other stuff. But if you ain't got the fundamentals, flag football introduce that.
Okay.
That's
a good point.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that because if you are wanting to learn football and do well with it and you just get thrown into the whole, it becomes more about tackling and all of that and you don't get
hit hard.
And Paul Rainey is chiming in less injuries. That's just a really good point because, I mean, we had a situation with Coopertown, Little Middle School. Their very last game, a young man got injured. They were just sure that leg was broke. He went into shock, and they had to take him to Vanderbilt. Turns out it was not broken, but it was injured big.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was just some scary things happen. And so there's parents will see that, and they're like, I'm not putting my kid out there. I mean, especially some of these little kids.
Yeah.
You know, my boys, we were talking about my boys. Ace is just in awe of, he's like, y'all are giants. And I'm like, yes, we are.
Yeah.
And I was showing him a picture because, I mean, people see me and they're like, you're a big girl. And it's like, out in my family, I'm the smallest. And as far as my boys, because they're all several inches taller than me at least. And my youngest son, who was the biggest of them, did not want to play football. And I think part of the reason is because he was always afraid he was going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
And he said that on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
He had I forget what the injury was, hyperextended his knee or something whenever he was young.
Yeah.
And it bothered him. And so he just didn't want to play. And so we really tried to push him to play. And then we finally decided we needed to back off and just let them do their thing. And I wish we'd have discovered that a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But we did finally see that. And two of ours just didn't care anything about football. It was too violent for them.
Yeah.
If they had been exposed to flag football, to where they could have learned the strategy of the game, maybe
strategy,
and the foundational fundamentals.
Yeah.
Then they might have wanted to play when they got older and it not just be banging heads.
Yeah, just banging heads.
So do you think you could have benefited from the fundamentals as a young man rather than
at this point in time?
No, I'm talking about when you were a kid. Do you wish you'd had flag or do you think you would have still wanted to go in there and crack heads?
Crackheads.
He's being honest. He's like, I'm gonna want to tackle. Because there's some kids that you just got there. You're just like, I want to go after it. You're funny.
Yeah. But if logically,
okay,
I would have chose flag football.
Yeah. So if you were, if you've got a child that's going to want to play, you're going to steer them in that direction because you know now.
Yeah, I know now.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. That's funny. That's funny. So, but I think a lot of parents are seeing that.
Yeah.
And the flag football league, man, has been huge. Do you have a number on how many kids maybe?
110.
110.
Yeah, 110.
Wow. Is that kind of the cutoff? I mean, do y'all have
that's what we got this year.
Yeah.
110.
So basically, ever how many register, and I think I've got to get Hollywood in here and Terry Martin in here to talk about the parks and rec and all of those things.
Yeah.
And just kind of see what's going on as far as an update there. But, you know, a lot of the times whenever it comes to registrations for these events or for these teams, it depends on how many kids register, how many that you're going to end up having on the field and how many teams you're going to make. Mm-hmm. I know they did that with from a perspective of doing it's a special needs kind of thing where they did the, oh my gosh, I forget what they call it, but it's the league. They have a baseball league, a special needs baseball league. And so they, they were expecting just to have a couple of teams, and they ended up with just a bunch of way more than they thought they were going to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we'll definitely get him on and talk about that. But that is one of those things that when it comes to trying to see how many teams you can have, it really just depends on how many kids want to participate.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference in the world. So we're talking with Acesa Brewer. He is my friend in audio and video broadcasting for sure. He has a lot of the same interests. He has a very interesting story himself. Maybe we'll have you come in and the kids can interview you for a podcast. Maybe we'll do that. That'd be kind of cool.
That would.
Yeah, because I mean,
experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's my biggest struggle with teaching the kiddos right now is just doing it for them. You're like, okay, you need to edit this, and I'll stand there and I'll go, okay, because I can do it a lot faster than they can, but you got to patiently let them do it to learn. Yeah. And so they need to interview you and learn how to conduct interviews. They all want to come in right now and do podcasts, just kind of wing it. They don't want to do the plan, and it's like, what's your topic going to be? What I had one of my classes, they wanted to do a dad joke podcast. Dad jokes, stupid jokes, just silliness.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few people do little things like that, but I'm like, sure, you can do that. And I said, but you're going to need a lot of dad jokes too. Because I said, if you're going to do a 15-minute podcast, right?
Yeah.
And so they took, and I had them, write the title out and go and get bullet points. And they had probably 15 different dad jokes on a pad.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, y'all each need to come up with a few that you all don't know. Yeah. So you can kind of cross-react and all of those things. The first time they went in and did it, I said, well, how long was it? 3 minutes. And I said, think you need a little more content? Yes, Ms. Vivio. So they sat down and went after it again. Yeah. And the second time they went in, they did end up getting about 12 minutes. So I think they're a little bit more on line with that. But show prep is a thing. You gotta have show prep. You gotta know what you're going to talk about. And I mean, just like before Acesa and I sat down, before we turned the mics on, we said we're going to talk about this, and this. Yeah. And you got to have a plan, or otherwise we're just sitting here just kind of going, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
It's not very interesting. So, but yeah, show prep is a thing, and so you can come in and kind of help them with that, I think. We'll do that. We'll do that real soon. But I'm talking with Acesa Brewer. If you have any questions for him, you can throw them up in comments. But I do want to, you need to go out to Veterans Motorplex and take pictures of the racetrack sometime. That would be fun. Have you ever been out to Highland Rim Speedway? The old Highland Rim. You know where I'm talking about, right? It's out in Greenbrier.
Out in Greenbrier?
And yeah, it's in Greenbrier. And it's called Veterans Motorplex now. But it's the old Highland Rim Speedway. And they had, it was really amazing because they had these big rig trucks, the big, tractor trailer trucks were running down the road. I mean, running around the track. Not last week and the weekend before last. It was fabulous. It was so cool to watch. It was a lot of fun. And they race every Saturday night through the end of October. You're going to find all kinds of fun racing out there. On Saturday, the gates open at 4:00. Racing starts at 6 and it goes until about 9. It is a great time, just so much fun. They had a great time when they had the big rigs out there, and they've just got all kinds of fun stuff going on out there. But now I talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I got my wires crossed on it, thinking it was going to be here, but this is an event that they're helping sponsor that they want you to know about, and it is this coming weekend, and it's a Friday and Saturday night. It's at 2408 Music Valley Drive in Nashville. And it is a big car show and all kinds of things going on. And they really want to have you. They say they've got, they're going to have free photos with each car entry. They've got club participation awards, hot wing eating contest, big wheel races, fun and games for everyone. But this is a big, big event that's happening again up in Nashville at 2408 Music Valley Drive. and they are one of the sponsors. So definitely go to their social media page. If you want to find out more about that, you can go to Highland Rim Speedway and see all the things that are happening that are affiliated with Veterans Motorplex. But just want to remind you to head that way and see what's going on. But don't miss out on the races on Saturday night here at our Veterans Motorplex, happening up in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road. Through October, you can get out there. You can go by and buy a $40 ticket that'll get in up to 6 kids and 2 adults for one price. And if you have questions about what's coming up and what's going on, you can always call Jerry at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. When you reach him, please let him know that you're coming because you heard U-Turn talking about it. Tell him U-Turn sent you. Continuing our conversation, wrapping up our conversation with Acesa Brewer. Anything that we haven't talked about that you want to cover, my friend? We're coming up. We got about 6 minutes left. So I know one thing we hadn't really talked a ton about. And we touched on this. I mean, this is a Christian radio station.
Yeah.
And we just want to remind everybody that you can listen to Christian programming here 24/7 through the internet. You just go to the WSGI app. There's actually an app that you can have on your phone.
Okay.
That'll take you to all the programming we have for WSGI. And there's great talk shows. I mean, they have stuff from Focus on the Family. They have, they're kind of the Jack FM of Christian music. Jack FM up in Nashville, you just never know what they're going to play. It's just like there's no, in radio, you're either adult contemporary or you're rock or you're this or you're that. You have like a genre that you go after. Jack FM is one of those that just plays anything and everything. That's kind of what we are here with our Christian, the Christian broadcasting, because you'll hear rock Christian, you will hear Southern gospel Christian, you will hear just anything and everything on WSGI, and I love that. And again, great programming. Across the way here, we've got the same thing, but in Espanol, in Spanish, at WDBL. So we've got just a really cool worldwide Christian broadcast facility right here. Mm-hmm. So we like sharing our Jesus with everybody when we get an opportunity to. So is anything in the faith world that you want to share beyond what we've already done? We talked about how, God was just there for you when you had your stroke and how he brought you through to your recovery to where you are now. And it's only been 5 years, so you're still in that place. Do you feel like, what do you think's next for you? What do you think's next?
Man, inspired so many different individuals that what I went through is not the end.
Yeah.
It's not the end.
Right.
So, as long as you believe that, and long as you have the willpower, nothing can stop you but you.
As long as you've got breath in your lungs, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you don't just sit around, and you work to get more mobile and to get in better shape and stuff. Yeah. So because the way you walk and run around all over town, good land. That's therapy in and of itself.
Man, it is therapy. It is.
Sure. Is your mama proud of you?
Man, my mama is proud of me.
I can't blame her. I would be too. Yeah. I'm proud to have you as a friend. But and tell me again the name of the church where people, if they want to come and hang out with you, they can come visit at your congregation.
St. Matthew's Holy Missionary Baptist Church. Okay. On Richmond Drive.
Okay. You remember the street?
Yeah, Richmond Drive.
And it's the one you grew up in.
Yeah.
I just continue to invite you again to come out to Epiphany Baptist tonight, guys. Yeah. Tonight is our Celebrate Recovery there. And it is one of those things, when you hear Celebrate Recovery, people go, well, I'm not in recovery. Well, that's not what it is. I think
always in recovery, something.
That's the key. About 10% of the people, and I forget the actual figure, but it's a very small percentage that come to Celebrate Recovery that are dealing with alcohol and drug issues. Now, we work with Hope Center, so we do have, the folks from there that come in, and they're dealing directly with the chemical and alcohol issues. But everybody, the Celebrate Recovery that I work with at Madison is pretty much 100% just life issues. It's not really the recovery community as we've always known it. Now, we do have some, from time to time, but the bulk of the folks that come to Celebrate Recovery in Madison are just dealing with life issues. We eat too much. We don't eat enough. We work too much. We have resentment issues from where somebody hurt us, or we have we spend too much money, or we need to work on our marriages, or we just all those things. And then it's just it's amazing. Every one of us need to be confessing our sins to each other so that we can pray for each other and so that we may be healed. That passage, people forget that it says, make this your common practice.
Yeah.
It's not, that's what we're supposed to do. Make this your common practice. I love, there's a guy I follow, Bobby Davis out of Cookeville. Mm-hmm. He did a series of lessons just recently on this. And he said, whenever it says, make this your common practice, don't you brush your teeth every day? He goes, that's a common practice. So that's how much we're supposed to be confessing our sins to each other so that we can pray for each other and be healed. Yeah. So, all right. We're done, Asa. Anything else you want to say as we wrap this up?
Man, just go for it. Anything and everything, just go for it. Mm-hmm. Hey, you fall down, but you get back up, live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm. And you're fighting beautifully. And I will, as his friends say, put Acesa Brewer in your prayer list as he continues his recovery. And, 5 years along, you're doing beautiful. But, I mean, there's a lot of things you can still fight back for, right?
Yeah.
So
always.
Always.
Yeah.
So you pray for Asa and for God just to open beautiful doors for him, for what he has planned for him, because I know it's going to be beautiful. And it's already beautiful. Yeah. But I just can't wait. I mean, you're just a kid. You're just a kid, honey. Yeah. God's got great plans for you and a long life ahead too. Yeah. That's my prayer over you. And I ask that y'all pray for my friend, Acesa Brewer. You'll be hearing more from him. Thank you for joining us here for One Street Over, for being a part of what we have going on here. We're going to hear from Deja Mu in the morning. Won't that be fun? Can't wait for that. And look forward to talking with you again. God bless you. Have a great day.
All right.
This is 1100 WSGI.